Good afternoon, everybody. We are on to episode 2 of Stress Busters today. I am live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Today I am on Instagram because the other day I thought I was on Instagram. I have Instagram up here on my phone and everything else down here on my laptop. And I was chatting away to Instagram and chatting away. And then at the end, I tried to end Instagram and there was no end button because I actually hadn't gone live. So today I managed it. I pressed the right button. So I am now live on all platforms. So welcome if you join me live, and welcome if you watch this later, because all of these videos do stay on the platforms that you're watching them on. So you can always come back and watch it later as well. And I just want to give you a little bit of an intro of what I'm doing here. I'm doing 5 short 15, 20-minute episodes, if that, during the month of April, because in the UK it is Stress Awareness Month. So I'm giving you 5 short episodes where I'm going to share with you really simple, practical, quick, easy tips that will change your life when it comes to dealing with stress. Now, they're not tips that you just implement once. Like everything when it comes to personal growth and development and ascending your own consciousness, it takes practice. It takes ingraining new habits, new ways of being. So it's not things you just do once. These are things that I still have to practice doing all the time for myself. I'm getting better at them. But it does take practice, but they're not complicated. That's the beauty of the things that I'm sharing. So the thing I shared in episode 1, you can go back and find that on the platforms as well, was really about the fact that not all stress is bad. So when we talk about dealing with stress, it's not that we want to get rid of all stress, because some stress is very good for you. I explained that in that video. You can go and check that out if you like. But all the other tips that I'm sharing with you now today is about being in the present moment, the power of the present moment when you're really distressed and you're really struggling. To be honest, not even when you're struggling, just generally as a way of life, being able to be in the present moment is really powerful. But it's definitely helpful when you're struggling with stress, anxiety, frustration, anger, fear, overwhelm, worry, grief, resentment, guilt, shame, all those things, which, by the way, are totally natural and totally normal, but they're very debilitating. They put us into very, very dysfunctional states of operation. They don't get us into our best state. They don't get the best out of us, and they just tend to make our lives worse in terms of how we think, feel, act, and the results that we get. So we do want to look at them because we don't have to stay in those states. So as I say, the tips I'm sharing today is about the present moment. I can't remember the exact order, but my next 3 live streams will be next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, same time, 12 p.m. UK. And we're going to be looking at managing your energy and spheres of control. We're going to be looking at how to juggle things when you're dealing with a lot and juggling a lot of things. And the other one is called The Power of the Pen. It's one of my favorite. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I stick a lot of things on the walls. I write a lot of stuff down, and it's really, really helpful. So that'll be next week. So let's focus on today's. And if you do join me at any point and you'd like to put any comments or questions in the chat, please do so on whatever platform you're on, and I will be able to address those for you. So today's topic, power in the present moment. Seneca said that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. And I really do believe that to be true. If you think about it, when you're distressed, just go into that experience for a moment and just imagine there's a circle around you and it's called stressed out me, distressed me, panicking me, whatever it is, stressed out me. If you go into that and just embody for a second what that's like for you, stressed out you, that version of you, which we will all have. For me personally, and I think for a lot of people, what we get is there's a lot of stuff going on up here. It's the madness in the mind. It's the tangled up turmoil in the mind. It's our imagination and our thinking that is causing us a lot of stress compared to what we're actually faced with in the present moment. So for example, I could have a big complex project on the go. I've got a job interview coming or something's happening in my life. And in my head, I'm going, I'm thinking about all the complexities at once. I'm doing the what if thinking. What if this happens? What if this happens? Usually bad things, right? What if this goes wrong? What if that happens? I'm trying to predict in my mind exactly how it's going to go. I want control. I want predictability. I want certainty. And I'm scrambling in my mind to try and get that. And all that's going on in my mind is my imagination. But it can be very debilitating when you're thinking in that way. So my mind is racing, 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 going all over the place. And then I feel distressed. And it's all up here. It's actually not in front of me right now. And right now is all that actually exists. If we look at that from a scientific perspective and just from objective reality, the past is just now a memory in your mind. The future is just a vision in your imagination. The only thing that actually exists tangibly is here and now. And when we get to tomorrow, it will be here and now. So there is no such thing other than the present moment. And so if you're not occupying the present moment, you're living in an illusion, a delusion up there, and you have no agency in that world, because your agency is here and now in the present moment where you can take physical actions. So being present is really, really powerful because it takes you out of all that noise, stress, confusion, chaos, catastrophic thinking, what if, what if, what if, and we basically bring it all back to the here and now. And this is where we actually have a lot more clarity, a lot more simplicity, because you realize that actually what you can deal with right now, what you need to deal with right now, is probably this much compared to all that stuff that you think you need to deal with in your head. So we get all that complexity and noise out, and we just siphon down to much more simplicity and clarity in the here and now. So that is something that becoming present really helps you with. Hello, Lee. We have a little comment from Lee Duncan Tucker. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. He says, yes, well said. I'm glad you agreed. Thank you so much. And yeah, you know, this for me is a really big one. I still practice it every day. Because my mind races. My mind goes into what if, what if, what if, what if. And then you get analysis paralysis. You're so paralyzed by this that you can't act, you can't do anything. And the only thing that guarantees you of is making no progress whatsoever. So really get into the here and now. And one of the key things I do that helps me with this is very simple. As I said, all these tools are so simple. I just focus on the very next step, the very next action. So some people are, and I've had this in the past as well, when you're looking for jobs or something, and you start thinking, I've got to apply for the jobs, and what if I get the interview, and what if I can't do the interview, and then what if I get the job and I can't do it, and what if then I've got to negotiate my salary, and blah, 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 and you're racing ahead. You haven't even done anything yet, and it's like you might not even get that far. Just take the next step, do the application. Then you see what result arises. Then you deal with the next thing when it comes. You may not even get to interview stage, you may, and then you can deal with it. But what's the point of sitting here now going, oh my God, I might get this, and then you don't do anything because you've scared yourself so much. I had it in a very simple thing the other week. I was like, I'm so busy and I need to clean. And I was like, I've got to clean the bathroom. I need an hour to clean the bathroom. I need a whole hour. And for me, an hour was a lot of time that I was struggling to find. Got to clean the bathroom. Need an hour. Oh my God, I've got to clean this. Got to do the walls. Got to do the floor. Got to do the toilet. Got to do the bath. Got to, And so I didn't do it. And then it hit me. Why don't you just do the sink today? 10 minutes done. And then tomorrow, just do the toilet. 10 minutes done. Tomorrow, do the bath, 10 minutes done. And just in little steps, over a few days, I would have got it done. I would have made progress by being present here and now and focusing on just the smallest next step that I can take, breaking it down. But instead, I'm like, but I've got to do all of the bathroom. I need a whole hour, and that's too much. So I just didn't do anything. So we do this with our dreams, with our ambitions, with our challenges. We make them so big up here. Particularly if, like me, you are an overthinker. Not everybody has this, But people with very active minds, people who overthink, people particularly who are quite intellectual and analytical, will have minds that like to run around a lot and see a lot of things ahead. If you've had trauma in your childhood, this is definitely a coping mechanism. The reason I think so much about things is because I feel I have to control circumstances and I'm looking out for threats and risks because I had to do that for survival in my childhood. So that's my adult pattern, but it doesn't help me here and now. So I'm learning to recalibrate my brain, my body, my energy. And I'm saying every day when I feel myself racing, what's my next step? That's all I do. Breadcrumbs. Life happens in breadcrumbs. We take a little breadcrumb, and when we've done that, we get the next one appears in front of us. And then we take that, and the next one appears in front of us, and then we take that. That's literally how it works. If you can let go of the need to know what's going to happen, because here's the truth, who knows what's going to happen? Do you actually know anything about what's going to happen in the future? No. You can make stories and predictions, but how many of them come true? One of my favorite quotes I saw, there's a Jay-Z song, which is, I've got 99 problems, but ain't one. I'm not saying that word, but if you know the song, you know the word. Well, 99 problems, but ain't one. And someone turned it into something which said, I've got 99 problems, and 97 of them are made up scenarios in my head, which will probably never happen. How true is that? And that's what's causing you stress. It's the scenarios in your head that probably will never happen. If I think about my life, how many things have actually turned out in the way that I thought they were going to, good or bad? Pretty much nothing. Life is full of surprises. Life is full of unknowns. Life is unpredictable. That is the nature of our world and our reality. And the more you can get comfortable with that, the more you will ride those waves with much more ease and much more calm, and even maybe some enjoyment and excitement for, oh, I don't know what's going to come next. I'm just going to take the next step. I'm just going to eat the next breadcrumb. I'm just going to do that job application. I'm just going to go and clean the sink in the bathroom. I'm just going to go and have that phone call, do that email. I'm just doing the next thing. I don't know what comes after that. Surrender to that. When you let go of the need to know, you allow so much possibility and wisdom and truth to enter your life. Your need to know and this stress up here of prediction and control, it's like a block that just fills up your channel of wisdom with muck and dirt and keeps you rigid and locked in. Whereas when you let go, clear the channel for your wisdom, your intuition, for the cosmos, for the universe, for your energy to move. Clear everything. Let it be spacious. Let it be unbound. And now all sorts can come in. But if you're trying to control everything and try and predict the future, blah, 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 you just create stress and noise, and you cut yourself off from so much possibility. So being here and now also reduces that, releases the stress. And let's just try it for a moment. Just with me for a few seconds, we're going to do this. I'd like you to just bring your awareness, your attention, your consciousness, your focus to the here and now, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Where are you right now? Just look around at what's around you and look at it. Don't judge it, just look. Really pay attention to the colors. Make everything rich, vibrant, palpable. Take a breath in and actually pay attention to your breath here and now. What can you hear around you? For me, a lot of silence. Listen to the silence. I can hear the whirring of the laptop here and now. Here and now, everything's actually okay. For most of us, here and now, thankfully, is actually okay. Nothing's wrong right now. For most of us in most of our life scenarios, we're actually okay. It's up here that's making you think you're not because you're running ahead and past and blah, blah, blah. But here and now, I'm okay, I'm healthy, I'm breathing, I'm living. I've got everything I could possibly need. The people I love are okay and healthy and breathing and living. The world is spinning, the birds are singing. Here and now, everything is okay. Just take a moment to stop and be in that. And do that frequently. Keep bringing yourself back, because here is where your power is, your creative power, the power of your actions, the power of your mind. Here is where you make that impact, not in tomorrow, not in yesterday, right here. And you'll feel so much calmer and in control when you bring it here. Realize that right now is actually very simple, and there's probably only one or two things that you need to do. And even those things, break them down into the tiniest little present moment step. The tiniest step. If I want to write an email, my tiny step might just be opening my Outlook and putting that person's name into the thing. That might be it. Let alone write the whole email, send the email. Don't even go that far. Tiny, tiny, tiny present moment breadcrumbs, which when you take them, eventually will build up to the bigger thing. But if you're worrying about the bigger thing, you're never going to move. You're never going to get anything done. You're just going to be more stressed. So bring it back into the present moment. Life is an unfolding. Can you allow yourself to appreciate what's here and now? Not even necessarily appreciate it, just be in it. Because we're not here. Most of us are not here. We're walking around our lives, interacting with people, talking, but our brains are somewhere else. We're not here. Which is a bit crazy when you think about it. So that's my tip for you today, darlings, for Stress Busters, for Stress Awareness Month in April. As I said earlier, stress is the health epidemic of the 21st century. And I think post-COVID has got even worse because we're dealing with so many fallouts from that. The modern world we live in is very, very distressing. I did a talk yesterday in an awesome company, Barclay Partnership Consultancy, Management Consultancy in London. And someone asked a really good question, which was about, in the past, our parents and our grandparents had wars and Cold War, and are we more stressed? We seem to be more stressed, and we don't have that stuff at our doorstep. But I think it's the complexity of the modern world and its ability to take our mental focus with technology, with always being turned on, information overload. We can know everything about everyone all the time with all this stuff going. We know more people than ever. We're connected, but also so disconnected to so many people, so much stuff, so much choice, so much. And I think that's whoa, our brains just explode. It's like overloading an electrical circuit with stimulation. It's too much. So again, present moment simplifies. In the present moment, do I need to be worried about what's happening on the other side of the earth? Be discerning about that. I'm not saying you don't care about what's happening on the other side of the earth. There's suffering and so on. But right now, does it affect me? Do I need to be worried about it? Is it the best place to put my effort? In the present moment, do I need to be looking at someone on Instagram who I've never met in my life? In the present moment, what do you really need? What's really true? What's really important right now? We simplify away from the complexities and the noise of the modern world that causes us a lot of stress. So we are living in crazy times. As I was saying, we're so blessed, but we're so stressed. And, stress, as I say, you got to watch my first episode because I'm not going to go into it in this one, but not all stress is bad. I'm not saying that we should all be chill and relaxed all the time. That's not actually your highest state of functioning and consciousness. But I am just saying that not all stress is bad, but a lot of our distress that we experience in the modern world is very debilitating, is causing chronic physical, mental illness, which has massive repercussions on a wider scale as well for society, for the economy, for our companies, for our families, for ourselves, for everything, for our future, everything. So it is a big problem, but we've got to learn ways to manage this volatile, complex world in healthy ways. No one's teaching us that. I'm teaching you it, right? Through my own pains, years and tears, as they say. I've gone through years and tears to get to the knowledge that I'm sharing with you. I practice what I preach, and I encourage you to practice it. This is experiential. If you want to change your consciousness, you must embody the change, and that means use your body to be the change. Act in line. Don't just go, oh yeah, I could be present, and then carry on doing what you were doing before. Be present, even if it's for a minute. Just practice each day. Bring your focus back here, and soon it becomes a habitual new way of being. And you still have to practice. You still have to remind yourself, because those old programs are very powerful. They'll keep taking you back to your old ways. But the more you put the power in the new ways of being and thinking and being in this world, it will start to get solidified in your consciousness and it will become your natural way of being. So practice being in the present moment. Practice looking for the next step only. Practice living life as a trail of breadcrumbs and you only need to get the next one and then you'll see the one after that, not before you've taken the one in front of you. Practice breaking it down into tiny, tiny chunks. Practice, 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 and then it will become easier and you'll just do it more naturally. And your stresses, I hope, not I hope, but I do hope, because I don't know what's going to happen for you, but I hope, and from my experience, your stresses will reduce and you'll be so much more productive, so much more functional, so much more confident, so much more in control, so much more in the zone. So much goodness will come just from these little things that I've taught you today. But you got to do them, darlings. You got to do them. So try them out, and if you do, let me know how it goes. That's my 20 minutes up. I've given myself a 20-minute target on these for these live streams, so I'm doing all right with that today. So I will close there, but thank you so much for watching, whether you watch this live, whether you watch this later. Thank you for your awesome comment there as well. Lee, nice to have you. And my next live stream, as I say, I'm doing 5 of these for Stress Awareness Month. The next ones will be on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, same time, 12 p.m. UK, on the same platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Give it a thumbs up, give it a share, whatever you want to do to spread the message, share the knowledge, because there are people out there struggling with stress and they don't know who to go to and they don't admit it and they don't ask, and this might just show up in their newsfeed if you share it and you like it, and it may be the very, very thing that they need to hear. Often it's the ones who are struggling most that are not that open to being honest about it, so we need to kind of get in there and just show up on their newsfeeds, be like, hey, maybe this will help you. So do support the cause and support Stress Awareness Month by sharing information as well, to help everybody else. Thank you so much. It's Friday today, so I hope that you're going to have a wonderful afternoon and a very, very magical weekend, whatever it is that you're doing. Take good care of yourselves, and remember that your power is in the present moment. Thanks so much for watching. Take good care, and I will speak to you next week. Bye.